Welcome friends. Let us go for the next part of discussion. In the last video, yesterday's discussion, we made about the definitions. We made clear about the definitions of the independently existing particle of the matter, that is atom, similarly molecule, compound, etc. Whereas atom is the smallest independently existing particle, it is also consisting some other smaller particles, and those smaller particles, otherwise the smallest particles present inside the every atom for characterization of the atom, these are necessary, and those important particles which are present inside the atom and are very necessary to characterize the atom are said to be the fundamental particles. Out of many particles, some particles are taken as reference, some particles taken as authentic, and those particles are fundamental particles, and those are of three: electron, proton, and the neutron. And these are indicated with some special symbols, like electron is with small e, proton is with p, and neutron is with n. Out of these three fundamental particles, some of them are present at the center of the atom. That center is said to be the nucleus. Hence, those whichever fundamental particles are present at the center of the atom are known as nucleons. And the other particle which is not present inside the nucleus, which is not present inside the center, which is present away from the center, are said to be the outer nucleus particles. Thus, out of these three fundamental particles, two particles are present inside the nucleus, are said to be the nucleons, and the other particle which is not present in the nucleus, which is present away from the nucleus, and where it is located in a specific position and always revolving around the nucleus. Such kind of particle is electron, and that particle is said to be the outer nucleus particle. Thus, atom consisting of fundamental particles, and out of these fundamental particles, neutron and proton are present inside the nucleus and are known as nucleons, whereas electrons are present outside the nucleus and are known as outer nuclear particles, or otherwise outer nucleus particles. Electrons are very active fundamental particles because they are not present in the center. They are present at the borders, they are present at the frontiers of the atom. Thus, these are actively involved in the chemical combinations. So, chemical combination, we made the definition, that is possible by readjustment of electrons. That is, electrons of one atom and electrons of other atom readjust us, either by sharing or by gaining or by donating and the accepting, by many of the processes. That particular combination is said to be the chemical combination. The same word we are saying here. Electrons are the most active fundamental particles, and these are responsible for the chemical combination. And these electrons are present in cells around the nucleus and always revolving around the nucleus. The cell, a particular location around the nucleus, which is spread around the nucleus, is also known as orbit. Whereas orbits are named as either K, L, M, N, etc. That is, whichever orbit, whichever cell is very closer to the nucleus, that is named as K, and the next is L, M, N, etc. Else, we are also naming with some numerical values like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Whereas 1 is the first orbit, 2 is the second orbit, etc. Whereas in alphabetical order, this 1 is equal to K cell, whereas the second orbit is equal to L shell, third orbit is equal to M shell, etc. That kind of correlation is there. Whereas we know with this discussion that electron is present around the nucleus, but whereas this is present in a particular cell, that is orbit, then how many electrons are present in an orbit is a question. So therefore, this particular number of electrons present in a cell or in an orbit is calculated with a simple logic, that is 2n square, where 2 is a constant, n is orbit number, and square is square. N is equal to 1, the number of electrons present in first orbit. If we substitute N is equal to 2, that will give number of electrons present in second orbit. N is equal to 3, third orbit. On substitution, a table related to the orbit number and the number of electrons present in the corresponding cells is given by first cell is having 2 electrons, second cell is having 2n square, 2 into 2 square is equal to 2 into 4 is equal to how much? 8. So therefore 8 electrons, 18 electrons in the third and 32 electrons in the fourth orbit. Thus, though the total number of neutrons and protons are present inside the nucleus, the remaining fundamental particle is present spread just like anything in the entire available space of the atom, but they are present in a particular cells and each cell is holding some maximum number of electrons. Thus first cell is having 2 electrons, second cell is having 8 electrons, fourth cell is having 32 number of electrons. Yes, graphical presentation of the atom with the orbits followed by representation of total number of electrons present in each orbit. This particular dot indicates the center of the atom, which is known as nucleus. Around the nucleus, these circles indicates orbits where electron is revolving. Electron is revolving from here to here within the orbit. So therefore that is a specific path, hence we are saying it as orbit, otherwise the cell. Generally, oftenly we can say that one as orbit. Whereas this is the orbit, here reference is nucleus. From the nucleus, whichever is present in close approach, that is said to be the first orbit. Hence, this will be the first. We will indicate that one with n. N is equal to 1, small n is equal to 2, small n is equal to 3, and small n is equal to 4. That is orbit number 1, orbit number 2, orbit number 3, and orbit number 4. Whereas these can also be indicated by K, L, M, N. This language and this language, both the meanings are same. But this is valid to certain extent. Generally, we will represent by n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, and n is equal to 4, etc. 5, 6. Whereas the maximum number of electrons present in each orbit as per the discussed table is concerned, n is equal to 1. How many electrons it is holding? Total 2n square, that is 2 electrons it is holding. N is equal to 2, it is holding 8 electrons. N is equal to 3, it is having total 18 electrons. N is equal to 4, it is having total 32 number of electrons. Thus, the maximum number of electrons that can be held in an orbit around the nucleus, first orbit, maximum it can hold 2. And whereas third electron is there, that should go and fill over here. Suppose if I am having total 10 electrons, 10 implies what? These 2 electrons plus these 8 electrons. Total 10 electrons are filled in first orbit followed by the second orbit. If it is having total 36 electrons, then how they will be filled? 2 here, 8 here followed by 18 here. Total will becomes equal to what? 36 number of electrons. 35, then here it is having total 17 electrons. Thus, in that way, the number of electrons maximum holding capacity is given by 2n square. Here 2 electrons are filled, 8 electrons holding capacity is present in the second orbit, 18 electrons holding capacity is present in the third orbit, and 32 electrons filling capacity is present in the fourth orbit. With the validation of certain rules, these many number of electrons are going to be filled, but the maximum capacity of holding number of electrons is 2, 8, 18 as well as 32. Yes, atom and its representation. Every atom is represented by a special symbol. It is either with the capital alphabet and in some cases, when repetition comes, to avoid the confusion, a capital alphabet followed by small alphabet combination is given. And every atom is electrically neutral substance. Neutral implies what? Here there are two varieties of charged particles. One is negatively charged particle, that is electron, and second one is positively charged particle, that is what? Proton. Number of protons present inside the atom is equal to number of electrons. So therefore overall charge present inside the nucleus, inside the atom is 0. Hence atom is electrically neutral. Whereas the most active fundamental particle that is responsible for the chemical combination of atom is electrons. So therefore electrons related clear information is very necessary. Thus number of electrons is given in the form of its atomic number. Thus atomic number of an atom indicated by Z, that Z will becomes equal to the sum of total number of electrons, otherwise total number of protons present in it. Thus atoms are so many in number, more than 100. Every atom is having its number. That number is said to be the atomic number, generally indicated by Z. Z is equal to 1, Z is equal to 2, Z is equal to 100. Indicates what? Atom having 1 electron, atom having 2 electron, atom having 100 electrons, because it is a unique number. Every atom is having some unique number of electrons, unique number of protons, and it is maintaining electrical neutrality. Thus atomic number is equal to total number of electrons present in the atom, which is also equal to total number of protons present in the atom, and it is indicated by Z. Z is equal to, yes, we can write, that is total number of electrons or total number of protons present inside the atom, because this total number of electrons and the number of protons are quantity wise equal, same, charge wise different. These two charges are magnitude wise same, but they are having opposite sign. So therefore these two cancels one another. As a result, net charge will becomes equal to 0 inside the atom. Hence atom is electrically neutral. Early atoms present in the periodic table and their corresponding Z value, and the atom by name, how it is going to be pronounced, and the corresponding symbolic representation. Z is equal to 1, that is 1 electron containing atom, the first atom present in the periodic table, that is hydrogen, indicated by H. 2 electrons containing atom, 2 electrons and 2 protons. So therefore that is 2 helium, He. Similarly atomic number 3, that is lithium, Li. Atomic number 4, beryllium, Be. Atomic number 5, boron, B. Atomic number 6, carbon, C. Atomic number 7, nitrogen, N. Atomic number 8, oxygen, O. Atomic number 9, fluorine, F. Atomic number 10, neon. And atomic number 11, sodium, Na. Atomic number 12, magnesium, Mg. Atomic number 13, aluminium, Al. Atomic number 14, silicon, Si. Atomic number 15, phosphorus, P. Atomic number 16, sulfur, that is S. Atomic number 17, chlorine, Cl. Atomic number 18, argon, Ar. Atomic number 19, potassium, K. Atomic number 20, calcium, Ca. Atomic number 21, scandium, Sc. Atomic number 22, that is titanium, Ti. Atomic number 23, vanadium, V. Atomic number 24, chromium, Cr. Atomic number 25, manganese, Mn. Atomic number 26, iron, Fe, that is ferrous. Atomic number 27, cobalt, Co. Atomic number 28, nickel, Ni. Atomic number 29, copper, Cu. Atomic number 30, zinc, Zn. In general, atoms are very unstable. That's what they chemically combines with the other atoms to get stability. But out of all possible atoms, Some of the atoms are very very stable. After observing the electrons how they are present inside the atom, it was found that atomic numbers like 2, 10, 18, 36, 54 are found to be more stable. They are very very stable, just like molecule. They never participates in chemical combination under ordinary conditions. On observing the atomic numbers, electrons how they are present inside the orbits, it was found that two electrons how they will be present as per capacity is concerned. First orbit is having two electrons, so first two electrons are present in the first orbit. Whereas except this case, remaining cases, 10 electrons how they will be present. First is having capacity of 2, remaining are how many? 8, where 8 are present in the second orbit, because second is having maximum capacity of holding what? How many electrons? 8 electrons. 18 electrons how they will be present? Here 2 electrons plus your 8 electrons, 10 electrons are completed, remaining 8 electrons are present in the third orbit itself. Similarly, 36 electrons containing atom is holding 8 electrons in the fourth orbit, and the 54 electrons containing atom is holding 8 electrons in the last orbit, that is fifth orbit. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Thus it was a generalization, it was a general conclusion. Thus what is the conclusion is, atoms participate in chemical combination. Atoms involves in rearrangement of electrons to get stability. That stability is attained if they are having how many electrons? 8 electrons, 8 electrons, 8 electrons in the outermost configuration, outermost orbit. If they hold 8 electrons, then it will become stable. So therefore, atoms to get stability, to get 8 electrons in the outermost orbit, participates in chemical combination. That's what we can write. Atoms to get stability participates in chemical combination and is attained by what? Getting 8 electrons in outermost orbit. That is nothing but what? Octet configuration. Thus, atoms to get stability participates in chemical combination, and that stability is attained by getting of octet configuration, nothing but what? 8 electrons in the outermost orbit. So in order to explain these of all things, electrons representation is very very important, and that was given by Lewis, and that structural presentation involves electron representation by either star or by dot. Hence this particular presentation is known as Lewis dot structures. We will go for the Lewis dot structure, and in that also we can write every particular orbit related number of electrons. That is the complete Lewis structure, but that becomes somewhat huge and heavy. So therefore we will write the last orbit related number of electrons in the form of either dots or the stars. So therefore that is the shortcut way of writing of the Lewis structure. We will write Lewis structures for the first 20 elements, that is from hydrogen to that is calcium. Lewis dot structures. Lewis structures. Hydrogen is having 1 electron, and that is present in the first orbit. Nucleus followed by first orbit, there 1 electron is present. Similarly, helium 2 electrons. Lithium first orbit is filled, hence I am not writing because it becomes so huge and it becomes so clumsy. So therefore lithium in second orbit it is having 1 electron. Beryllium 2 electrons. Boron 3 electrons in the second orbit. Carbon 4 electrons. Nitrogen 5. Oxygen 6 electrons, followed by fluorine, that is 7 electrons are there in the second orbit. Neon, already we made the presentation and the discussion to represent the inert gases, special gas, where it is having 8 electrons in the outermost orbit, hence it is stable. To get stability, Stability implies what? To get such kind of configuration. Fluorine requires how many extra electrons? 1 electron. Hence it can take. Similarly, oxygen requires how many electrons? 2 electrons. Hence it can take. Nitrogen requires how many electrons? 4 electrons. Hence it can take. Nitrogen requires 3 electrons. Hence it can take. Suppose sodium, it is having extra 1 electron. If it loses, it will be converted to neon. Thus it can lose. Similarly, magnesium in the third orbit, the last orbit for the magnesium, and it is holding how many electrons here? 2 electrons are there in the last orbit of magnesium. Thus, these are the Lewis structures of the first 12 elements present in the periodic table. Aluminium is having 3 electrons in the third orbit. Up to 18, these are all present in the third orbit. Silicon is having 4 electrons, and phosphorus is having 5 electrons. Sulfur is having 6 electrons. Chlorine 7 electrons. Argon is having 8 electrons. Then after new cell starts, potassium is having 1 electron in the fourth orbit, and calcium is having 2 electrons in the fourth orbit. Thus, these structures are said to be the Lewis structures. We can say it as Lewis dot structures also. Suppose if you take any of the inert gas, suppose here inert gas is argon. Whichever the gases are, whichever the elements are present above the inert gases, these are very interested to take up the electron to get the stable configuration, that is octet configuration. Thus, chlorine interestedly gains the electrons. Similarly, here sulfur gains the electrons, phosphorus gains the electrons. And those whichever are present below the inert gases, after the inert gases, in order to get the stability, if it loses this electron, it will be argon related configuration. So therefore, potassium loses electrons, calcium loses electrons. There also here after neon, sodium loses electrons, magnesium loses electrons, aluminium loses electrons, silicon loses electrons. Whereas those whichever are present above the neon, fluorine gains the electron, oxygen gains the electrons, nitrogen gains the electron. Such kind of trend is present for the chemical combination of different elements. Thus, relatively, which elements can gain the electrons, which elements can lose the electrons is present on behalf of their electronegativity, that we will discuss later. But for a remembering of the things, here we can feel that those whichever are present above the inert gases as per the atomic number are concerned, to get stable configuration, they gains the electron. Where those whichever are present below the inert gases, that is next to the inert gases, to get the stable configuration, they loses the electrons easily and are converted as cations. Those which gains the electrons, they are having extra electrons. Electron is having negative charge. So therefore, more extra electrons, more will be the negative charge and are known as anions. Those which are formed by losing electrons are said to be what? Cations. Even not only the atoms, even sometimes chemical combination of atoms also involves in gaining of electrons and losing of electrons. Thus it will form different varieties of radicals. Let us have a discussion over the radicals. Radicals. In general, radicals are very reactive species. Here, radicals, the meaning is, basically the radical meaning is different. But for our easiness of understanding, here the radical, the meaning is ion, and these are divided into two categories. One is acidic radical and second one is basic radical. The meaning of acidic radical is the radical always associated with the acids. That is, after the common portion H plus, the remaining part is said to be the acidic radical. Radical associated with the acids, that is anion. Similarly, basic radicals are nothing but what? Positive charge containing ions, those are cations. And these particular acidic radicals are once again divided into categories like monovalent, bivalent, trivalent and tetravalent. For our easiness of study, there is no specifications. Similarly, these are monovalent as well as the bivalent. Valency is nothing but combining capacity. Thus, this particular anion can combine with one covalent bond, one valency left. Here it can form 2 bonds, here it can form 3 bonds, here it can form 4 bonds. On behalf of that, we are segregating the reoccurring anions and cations present in the chemistry literature for our easiness of understanding of chemistry. Thus, here the reactive species related to the atoms and the molecules are the charged species, and these charged species are said to be as being they are more reactive, known as radicals, whereas these are on behalf of their charge, negative charge containing those particular radicals are said to be the cation, that is negative charge containing those particular radicals are said to be the acidic radicals, whereas the positive charge containing, that is cationic charge containing radicals are said to be the basic radicals. And once again, on behalf of the charge holding on them, these are monocovalent acidic radical, bicovalent acidic radical, trivalent acidic radical, tetravalent acidic radical. Similarly, basic radicals, monovalent basic radical, divalent basic radicals are enough. We will go in detail of writing of the monovalent structures, monovalent radicals, monovalent name and monovalent number of electrons. Thus, with the help of the practicing Lewis structures, it becomes very easy, and it is very important to understand the chemistry and giving naming for the different varieties of compounds. That is monovalent acidic radicals, halide. Halide stands for halogen atom with having of extra 1 electron. That is, X is having total 7 electrons as we made the Lewis structure, whereas here it is having 8 electrons, 1 electron extra, the charge of electron is minus, so therefore this is X minus. The halides are F minus, Cl minus, Br minus, I minus. Those are fluoride, chloride, bromide as well as the iodides. Whereas hydroxide, that is OH minus. Whereas as you know, water molecule, it is connected with hydrogen, that is said to be water. Oxygen is having 2 lone pairs. Out of 6 electrons, 2 electrons are present in the form of 1 lone pair, another 2 are present in the form of another 1 lone pair, and 1 electron is in sigma bond with the hydrogen, another 1 electron is involved in sigma bond with the other hydrogen. If the bond is polarized in favor of this oxygen atom, so therefore oxygen is having total 4, 5, 6 followed by another 1 electron, so therefore here it is having another 1 lone pair, thus it is having 3 lone pairs on the oxygen atom, that is OH minus. Similarly here cyanide, carbon connected with nitrogen, followed by here 3 bonds are present, implies what? 3 electrons are involved. 4th electron, carbon valence is filled, carbon electrons are filled. Extra 1 electron is there, due to this it is having negative charge, it is said to be the cyanide. Whereas if it is involved in resonance, then this lone pair, here what happens is this bond pair is taken in favor of the nitrogen, so therefore nitrogen is having negative charge, and in between them here triple bond is present once again, so therefore here isocyanide, N cyanide and isocyanide C, followed by here negative charge will be present over the nitrogen, thus are shifting the pi bond present between carbon and the nitrogen in between them towards the nitrogen. It takes up the electron pair and it is having 1 unit of negative charge, whereas electron of this particular carbon is moved towards the nitrogen. Carbon is having deficiency is compensated here and it is having just neutral species, that is isocyanide. Similarly thiocyanate stands for cyanide connected with the sulfur with 1 unit of negative charge. If it involves in resonance, double bond formation here, followed by nitrogen is having 1 unit of negative charge is said to be the isothiocyanide. Whereas here hypohalite, oxygen connected with the halogen holding 1 unit negative charge is said to be the hypohalite. Whereas this is OCl minus, OBr minus, OI minus, hypochlorite, hypobromide, hypoiodide. This is not hypochlorite. hypobromite, hypoiodide. This is hypohalite ion. Halite is, that is XO2 minus, halogen connected with one oxygen with the double bond, one oxygen with the single bond followed by having 1 unit of negative charge, ClO2 minus, BrO2 minus, etc. These are said to be the chloride as well as bromide, etc. Halite, that is XO3 minus, ClO3 minus, BrO3 minus. These are said to be halate chloride followed by bromate. Whereas XClO4 minus is said to be the perhalate. This is ClO4 minus, BrO4 minus. This is perchlorate followed by perbromate, etc. Whereas here I made clear about the hypohalite, halite, halate and the perhalate. The naming of the compounds never be confused over here. When it is said to be the halide, when it is said to be the halite, when it is said to be the hypohalite, when it is said to be the halate as well as the perchlorate. The next one is hypophosphite. Hypo stands for less by 2 units. That is, phosphorus is maintaining +5 and the +3, whereas less by the lower, that is said to be the hypo. 3 minus 2, that is 1. Hypophosphate implies phosphorus maintains +1 oxidation state. That is, in order to maintain +1 oxidation state, this will be H3PO2, whereas in this H3PO2, if one of the hydrogen is eliminated, that is HPO2 minus is said to be the hypophosphite. Whereas dihydrogen phosphate is H2PO3 minus. This is phosphorus acid derivative. If one of the hydrogen is removed, then this will be H2PO3 minus, that is said to be the dihydrogen, 2 hydrogens containing phosphite. This is hypophosphite. Phosphorus with +1, phosphorus with +3, whereas phosphorus with +4 is said to be what? That is phosphate. That we will also discuss. This is azide N3 minus, 3 nitrogens holding 1 unit of negative charge, 1 positive, 1 negative cancelled. The total amount of net negative charge is 1 unit. 3 nitrogens holding 1 unit negative charge is said to be azide. The other monovalent anions, that is acidic radicals and the corresponding structures. Nitrate NO3 minus, it is a derivative of nitric acid, whereas NO3 minus is having structure like that. This oxygen is having 1 unit of negative charge, that is nitrate. Nitrite, that is NO2 minus, it is a derivative of nitrous acid, whereas nitrogen is present in +3 oxidation state. You will be getting all these things after a few ahead of the chemistry, but now it will feel somewhat difficult, but you have to practice, then you will be remembering the things. That is nitrite structure. Bisulfate, sulfur with +6 followed by 1 hydrogen, HSO4 minus, corresponding structure. Bisulfide, sulfide is just S minus 2, so therefore bisulfide HS minus 1. Similarly bisulfite, sulfur with +4 oxidation state, HSO3 minus. Bicarbonate, HCO3 minus. Similarly here another one monovalent halides are monovalent basic radicals are acidic radicals are permanganate MnO4 minus. Manganese connected with the 4 oxygens with the 3 double bonds and 1 single bond, and oxygen is holding 1 unit of negative charge. Similarly dihydrogen phosphate is phosphorus with +5 oxidation state including 2 hydrogens, that is H2PO4 minus. This is dihydrogen phosphate. These of all are monovalent acidic radicals.